The question is, Mrs. Candidate, Mr. Candidate, regardless of your Republican or Democrat, why am I and other people like me treated like garbage? Are you telling me that it's a crime, and here's my crime? I promised you earlier that I would tell you what my crime was. You may send the police department here, the FBI, the CIA, the NRO. 2 crimes. Maybe 3. 1, I released the photo of the SR-7. Wrong plane. I released the photo of the Aurora. How did I get that photo? That's my business. Secondly, I released the information about the UFOs. Remember my show, Video Dave's UFO Clip of the Week? Really pissed off the government. And third, and finally, my biggest crime. Mr. Candidate, Mrs. Candidate, listen real closely to what I did, because I should go to prison for the rest of my life. Perhaps a federal prison would be best. I took care of my sick mother. Oh, don't think this is a Bleeding Hearts tape. I'm telling you the truth. My mother got something called gastroesophageal disease. Gastroesophageal disease is when the throat no longer works. A net builds over it. You can't swallow, you can't eat. With my service dogs, I moved from my Calamasa home to take care of my mother. My mother was extremely, extremely ill. My mother has had 4 nervous breakdowns in the past. She lost a daughter. I had to give up my own sons for adoption because of my agoraphobia. And we were evicted from a mobile home park because my dogs had to urinate? What in the hell are you running for president for when I'm standing here trying to help people and I have to do this with a borrowed camcorder? Oh, why am I doing it with a borrowed camcorder? Because someone knew I was going to be doing this tape. They broke into the house. I don't live in the house. I live in the dumpster alongside the house. What really happened? Someone broke into the house and deliberately stole the camcorder and the videotape the first time I tried to do this tape. This is a borrowed camcorder you're watching. So is this the kind of cities you're running? You want to help run, Mr. President, Mrs. President? To every television station watching this, to every station manager, to every news director, to every network director, run this tape. I told you about my triple heart bypass surgery and my heart attack. In October of 1995, I had a heart attack. That heart attack caused a triple heart bypass operation. I was denied disability even though it took a year to recuperate. I ask you, Mr. Candidate, Mrs. Candidate running for president, why, as a serviceman who was willing to give his life for this country, did you deny me disability after a heart attack? Answer the question. My name is Aaron David Kabak. Most people know me as Video Dave. I've done hundreds of radio shows and many, many television shows, but I'm getting to the point where I'm really pissed off. And finally, despite over 18,000 hours of videotape where I've logged my agoraphobia on VHS, 3/4, and 8mm, I now want to give you a little bit of my past history. Some of the tapes I put on may repeat. First of all, I'm going to show you France's. This is how we treat Americans, see? We treat Americans by throwing them in the street while we build billion-dollar Aurora-type aircraft. We have city managers that turn off our electricity. We have the Social Security Department that after 3 times asking for some type of disability, right, tells me to travel 98 miles from Yucaipa to Los Angeles after the 3rd time so their doctors can visit me. You don't think I should be angry? I'm damn angry. And you running for president, answer my questions. You have the questions on the tape. Don't sit there. Answer the questions. You're a senator, you're a congressman, Get to Social Security right now and look up my name, Aaron, Aaron, David, David, Quebec, Kaback. You go to Social Security right now and you tell me why for 30 years I was denied disability. How did I survive? I invented a few objects. I wrote a few articles. I want my $180,000 plus interest, or whatever the amount is. I want it now. I need to pave the road. I need to get carpeting in the house. And above all, I need a car that goes into reverse. I don't even know if the car's in the picture. Let me take a look at the picture. Yes, my beautiful Toyota. My beautiful 1982 Toyota, 1989 Toyota is off to your camera right. Now, one final plea from the people watching this tape, the television industry, and the multi-millionaires, or just the average citizen watching this tape. Do not send any money to me. Absolutely none, zero, not one stinking penny, nothing. The government owes me this money. The government of the United States of America that builds atomic submarines, Aurora-type fighters, has a black project of $56 billion. Most of that goes on Area 51. Most of that testing goes on in Area 51. I can tell you stories that will raise your hairline. Come, visit me. I don't care if you're NBC, CBS, PBS, Fox, or even the Comedy Central channel. Come, hear the entire story. Maybe you can bring a Social Security check with you. Now, the rest of this tape you're going to see is the prior tape that I made. You'll see portions of me on television, like I say, that may repeat. So, Mr. Director, Mr. News Director, if you have any questions about the authenticity of what I've told you, you can contact the Yucaipa City Hall. You can contact Ellen Winston at KNBC. You can contact KCAA Radio. You'll have to contact KCAA Radio over the Internet. It's kcaaradio.com. And then leave a message for Dennis Baxter. And, of course, you can contact Pete Noyes at Fox TV. There's quite a few other people in the television business I know that I've lost track of, including John Barber and John and Greg Rice. So, anyway, without any further ado, schizophrenia. This is Frances, the lady I found in the street. And then after that, there'll be a slight glitch, a little bit of my past history on television, and please call me, 909-810-3594. Put these questions in front of the candidates. A full broadcast release form is enclosed with this tape, as well as medical information regarding my 30 years of agoraphobia. Am I a piece of garbage? I don't think I am a piece of garbage. How many other people like me, Mrs. Candidate, Mr. Candidate, running for President of the United States, freeze to death because the city has the power to turn off their electricity? The Social Security Administration tells an agoraphobic who couldn't open his front door for 15 years, except for that small appearance I made on that quiz show, to travel 90 miles so their doctor can visit you, so their doctor can investigate if you're really sick, despite thousands and thousands of pages of medical evidence. I'll die for this country, but I sure won't let them fuck me, because I've had it up to here with you candidates. You candidates get up there, you say a bunch of wonderful things, where people like me freeze to death. Anyway, I've had my say, Mr. News Director. If you've got the guts and you've got the cojones, Mr. News Director, Mr. Station Manager, Mr. Network Director, air this story. I beg you, please, air this story. Air it for the candidates.